huge stretch where you're not really sure how you can do it or if you can do it, but you somehow believe you can.
Yeah.
And when you set a goal like that, you will find a way to reach it. You don't give up. And if you're not setting that dream that far away, that it's like, wow, this is scary. I'm going to fail. I'm going to embarrass myself. You know, that's most people's biggest fear is embarrassing themselves.
Oh, totally.
Looking like an ass in front of everybody they love and everybody they know. And, you know, I failed and looked like an ass in front of everybody I know. And you know what?
Never happened to me. Never happened to me.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think if you've experienced enough failures to know that you've survived every single one of them, then it becomes easier to take those chances. Whereas the longer you stay confined in your comfort zone, the scarier it becomes to break out of it.
Yeah.
So that's why I think all the time you should shake your life up as often as possible and keep doing as many scary things, whether it's in your professional life, your relationships, or with your health. You know, one thing for me is I'm kind of scared if I stop doing triathlons, am I going to get fat again? And I know, just because I feel like for me, and this is something I'll have to deal with because, I mean, I can't do an Ironman every year until I die. Probably. I mean, maybe I can, but gosh, I really don't want to have to deal with that every year. Yeah. But I know that I have a goal to stay in shape, and that's the real goal. And that's part of me is Ironman is a tool towards staying in shape because you can't do an Ironman without preparing for it. So to have the motivation to get out of my house and run, I've got to have this really crazy, scary thing looming over my head that says, right, don't sit on the couch today, get out and train. And the side effect of that is I'm in good shape.
Right on.
So, surfing has also the effect that the side effect is you get in good shape. Luckily, because that's one of the few things I don't need to motivate myself for.
Right.
It's more of a compulsion. The waves are there. I'm like, okay, screw everything else. I'm going surfing. I'll wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning so I can be the first person there and, watch the sunrise from my surfboard and no one else is in the lineup yet. And you're just getting all the waves to yourself. And I'll wake up for that, no problem. I got to do a 4-hour ride. My alarm goes off at 6. I'll have all the best intentions in the world. I know I can do this at 2 p.m. So I'm going to get up and have a coffee and relax, and I'll go do that bike ride at 2 p.m.
Yeah. Listen, we're gonna wrap this up really quickly. Do you have any last words of advice for somebody who, not only just having that tough decision to make of, I want to get more active, physically active. I want to get, make health more of a priority. Do you have any last words of advice for that? Or maybe even just for somebody who's thinking of stepping outside their comfort zone and their self-imposed box, and they're afraid to take that step. Do you have any last words of advice for them?
I would say just take the step and do it, and push all the fears aside. And if it's, sometimes it can be find something you're a little bit afraid to do, and do that. And I think when you start to get in the habit of confronting fears, it becomes easier to confront bigger and bigger fears. So, maybe it's like you've had a relative that you fell out with 2 years ago, and you've wanted to patch things up, but you haven't called. Maybe you like doing something like that, and then doing it, getting it done, and go, wow, that wasn't so bad. And actually, now I feel awesome that I did it, because almost every time you face a fear, you feel really good after you've done it. So face, if you can't, whatever fear you're trying to face, if you can't face that now, go face a smaller fear than you can now, face it, and then you'll get a little bit more confident to face a bigger fear. And, just keep facing fears, keep dealing with fears, and then you'll realize that there's nothing the world can throw at you that you can't take head on, because you can overcome it all. And everything is included in the fear, but, when you learn to deal with fear, and it becomes, something that you actually look forward to having a challenge and saying, look, you start to pick bigger and bigger challenges, and next thing you know, you'll be in shape, and you'll say, like, right, a marathon, well, that hurt, but, like, wow, an Ironman, maybe you'll try something bigger. Why did I need to move from a marathon to an Ironman? Just because I like the feeling of picking a hard challenge and doing it, and then it's like, now what am I going to do after an Ironman? Am I going to do the 4 deserts? Like,
whoa, relax,
I don't even want to think about that, but
relax. You're going to make yourself crazy. See, and this is why when the student is ready, the teacher appears, okay? My surfing coach. Yeah. Anyways, Dave, thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to me blabber on.
No, that was fantastic. Fantastic. Great. Thanks a lot. This is Darren from Old Dog Coaching. Cheers and have a good one.
See you guys.